Mulching Trees and Shrubs, a presentation provided by the Chicago Region Trees Initiative and the Plant Clinic from the Morton Arboretum. Section 1. The importance of mulching. In this section, we will cover reasons that mulching can be beneficial to both trees and shrubs. One of the first reasons that mulch is important is that it creates an insulation layer, conserving soil moisture. Bare soil surfaces heat up in the summer, causing wind and water evaporation, which can lead to root desiccation and death. By preventing sunlight from reaching and heating the soil, less evaporation occurs, which means less watering is required during high summer temperatures. Soil temperature is also moderated throughout the rest of the year, leading to warmer soils in winter and cooler soils in the summer. This protects roots from extreme temperatures due to less freezing and thawing, which can leave roots injured and damage the plants. Winter warm spells also do not prompt plants to sprout too early in early spring. The soil's physical structure, nutrient value, and fertility is also improved. As organic mulch breaks down, it adds nutrient-rich humus to the soil, increasing the organic matter in the surface of heavy clay soils, which provides a favorable environment for earthworms and other organisms that benefit from the soil structure. They in turn help add further nutrients, further open up the soil structure, and improve the water holding capacity of the light sandy soils. Also, this releases nitrogen and phosphorus slowly into the soil, which increases its fertility. Mulch also reduces root competition. In the Midwest, most of a tree's fine roots are in the upper 12 to 18 inches of soil. Applying mulch under trees and shrubs eliminates competition from other plants that would compete for the same water and nutrient resources. Turf roots are especially aggressive and pose the largest threat of competition to trees and shrubs. You can create a living mulch by using plants that are more compatible with tree roots, such as bulbs, wildflowers, ferns, ground covers, and other herbaceous perennials. Mulch further prevents erosion and water runoff, increasing the ability for trees to absorb said water. Bare soil disperses or breaks apart when impacted by heavy rain or sprinkler droplets. Mulch protects the soil from being eroded and reduces water runoff by providing a sponge surface that slows and absorbs the water, holding it longer for those upper fine roots. Mulch also helps provide safety zones around tree trunks. The visual of a mulch ring helps alert landscapers to whatever tree or shrub may be in the area, protecting the trunks from weed whips and lawnmower damage. It's also an opportunity to recycle yard and landscape waste through composting. Properly applied, mulch can increase tree growth in the first few years after planting. Early experiments by the Morton Arboretum scientists in 1989 established that mulching a tree after planting on a poor quality urban site can improve its health compared to an unmulched tree. Improving the soil around trees will improve the health and longevity of them. Organic matter soil treatments can also improve root growth and therefore the health of the tree. Section 2. How to mulch. In this section, we will cover the steps that should be taken for proper mulching. To begin with, wait. One must wait until after the first hard frost in the fall to apply a winter mulch, or after the last frost in the spring to apply the summer mulch. Every year, mulch should be checked for its depth and replenished as necessary. When spreading the mulch, make sure that it's in an even layer of medium textured mulch, about 3 to 4 inches deep, and in a wide circle around the base of the tree, extending from the base of the trunk out at least 2 feet for a total of 4 feet in diameter, or ideally, if the tree or shrub is small enough, until the drip line, which is the end of the branches. The larger the mulched area, the more beneficial the mulch will be to the tree. One thing to note is to not mound or pile the mulch or let it rest against the trunk of a tree. This is known as volcano mulching. This amount of excessive mulch on the trunk can cause moisture to build up, creating ideal conditions for insects, pests, diseases, and decay. Make sure to pull mulch away from the base of the tree trunk or shrub, creating a donut hole and exposing the root flare. Organic mulch and composting are one of the many ways that you can obtain mulch for your trees and shrubs. Ideally, organic mulch should be composted or otherwise treated before use so that weed seeds, insects, and disease microorganisms are killed. Composted mulch generally has a more uniform texture than mulch that is not composted, and this can make applying and maintaining the mulch easier. To start, pile any remnants of landscaping or otherwise organic materials in an area where soil organisms can take time to break plant matter down into compost. In a few months, this partially decayed plant matter will become a nourishing soil amendment. Mix a variety of dead organic material that you don't need with some green material, such as end-of-season annuals, and a little garden soil to improve the mix. Avoid including weeds that may have seeds, which often don't decay in compost and may survive to sprout. If mulch has been sitting outside indefinitely, it is likely that weed seeds are also present and it should be composted thoroughly before use. Mulch can also be available in bulk for free in different locations in your community. Mulch texture is also something to keep in mind. As previously stated, medium textured mulch is the best. Fine particles tend to pack down and retain moisture, which can then evaporate before reaching the actual plant roots. Coarse textured materials, on the other hand, may be too porous to hold adequate amounts of water. The best alternative to medium textured mulch is a mix between fine and coarse materials. Section 3. The different types of mulch. In this section, we will cover the 3 different textures of mulch: fine, medium, and coarse. The first type of texture of mulch that we will cover is fine. This includes grass clippings, animal manure, mushroom compost, peat moss, sawdust, and sewage sludge. The considerations for grass clippings are to make sure that it is dry or be composted before use. Mix them with other materials to increase porosity and reduce matting. Grass is a source for some nitrogen, but has a tendency to be higher in alkalinity, which may compromise nutrition. Animal manure is a good source of nutrients, but should also be composted before application, or plant damage, such as burn, may result due to a high salt content. Ideally, it should be mixed with a coarse textured material. Mushroom compost is also a good source of nutrients when mixed with soil or other materials. Alone, it also has a high alkalinity and sometimes salts. Peat moss compacts easily due to its fine texture, but dries out quickly. It is best mixed with soil and other materials. It is not recommended as a top dressing because water will not penetrate through it when it's dry. Sawdust must be composted first or mixed with a nitrogen source, such as manure or fertilizer, before application. Oak sawdust helps acidify soil and is good for azaleas, rhododendrons, and blueberries. Do not use sawdust from treated lumber. Lastly, sewage sludge is a good source of nutrients. Composted sludge is available commercially, for example, from Mile Organic or Nutricomp, and should be incorporated with soil or mixed with other composted material. The next texture that we will cover is medium. This includes hardwood chips, composted leaf litter or leaf mold, and shredded leaves. Hardwood chips are readily available and often free from municipal sources. Composted leaf litter or leaf mold is something that you can rake onto nearby garden beds as free mulch, even when the leaves are whole. If you wish to cut them into smaller pieces to make a tighter looking mulch, it will additionally not blow around as much as whole leaves and maintain the area composted and mulched for much longer. You should rake the leaves into a pile on your lawn and run a power mower over them several times to cut them up. Then, these shredded leaves can be spread as mulch, and while it is a good source of nutrients, it may increase weeds if not thoroughly composted. Lastly, shredded leaves are variable in texture and can be collected and shredded on your own. Mix them into the soil in the fall and allow them to break down naturally during the winter for improved soil quality. Next, we will cover the coarse texture. This includes hardwood bark, pine boughs, pine needles, and straw. Hardwood bark, such as pine or shredded bark, can be purchased as bags of large or small chips, and it is a long-lasting type of mulch. Pine boughs are good for covering perennials in winter, but pine needles are not widely available. Pine needles should also be mixed with other materials unless you wish to increase the acidity of your soil. Straw persists a long time but can be blown away easily unless it's mixed with other materials. Although generally not suitable as a landscaping mulch, it provides winter protection and is a good cover for grass seed. Section 4. Possible problems. Sometimes too much of a good thing can be bad, and problems may arise if mulch is used incorrectly. Too much mulch can be harmful, and the following points should be considered to make an informed choice and avoid or correct issues due to mulching. Although available, plastic mulchers or weed barriers can prevent oxygen and water from penetrating into the soil and are not advised to be used. Dark-colored mulches also absorb heat during the day and lose heat at night as surrounding air temperatures fall. This can lead to heat injury and can especially injure succulent plant tissues. On the other hand, fine textured mulch such as peat moss, grass clippings, and sawdust can retain a lot of moisture and should only be used in mixtures with coarser materials. Otherwise, excessive moisture may be retained. Volcano mulching, as just stated before, is something that should be avoided. The excessive mulch mounded around the base of a tree can cause decay of the vital tissues at the root collar and root flare. Once decayed, serious disease organisms may be more ready and able to enter the plant and cause issues. Soil temperature also needs to be a consideration. If you are applying mulch as winter protection, avoid applying it too early in the fall, since mulch can delay the soil freezing process by retaining heat in the soil. Furthermore, if applied too early in the spring, mulch can inhibit soil warming and delay root growth. As a general rule, wait until after a hard frost in the fall to apply winter mulch and after the last frost in the spring to apply a summer mulch.
Top takeaways. The importance of mulching. It provides insulation, adds nutrients, reduces root competition and erosion, and creates a safety ring around trees for Top takeaways on how to mulch. Wait until after the first hard frost of winter or until after the last frost of spring to mulch. Spread the mulch 3 inches deep and 4 feet in diameter. Do not volcano mulch and check the depth annually, replenishing as necessary. Top takeaways for types of mulch. Organic mulch needs thorough composting. Fine, medium, and coarse textured mulch can be used for medium mixture, and there are many varieties of each texture of mulch available for you. Top takeaways for possible problems. Do not use non-porous mulch. It creates a barrier preventing access to oxygen and water. Mulch can trap excess moisture and cause heat injury. Volcano mulching can cause root collar or root flare rot, and applying at the wrong times can delay soil freezing and warming cycles, which can also lead to root damage.
Thank you. This is the end of the presentation, brought to you by the Chicago Region Trees Initiative. For more information, please visit chicagorti.org. This presentation was also brought to you by the Plant Clinic at the Morton Arboretum. For more information or with any questions about tree or plant care, please call 630-719-2424 or send an email to plantclinic@mortonarb.org. Thank you from the Morton Arboretum. We hope this presentation provided you with helpful information in proper care of plants and trees, and we hope that it helped you become a better champion of the trees.